Thank you so much. Thank you. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. It's great to have your company today. Hello. Hope everyone is well and is looking forward to another cracking show. Coming up on the show then today, I hear you cry. Lots of news to talk about today. I want to talk about holidays on the show today, because yesterday, I know it was my birthday yesterday. Oh my God, I'm going to get to that in a minute. Oh my God, I had such a great time. I'll get to it in a minute. But first of all, I've got a team we've got coming up on the show today, because we're going to be talking about holidays, about if it's too early to talk about it, and we're also going to be talking about toxic air on the show with cars, and we're also going to be talking about the temperature apparently of 23 Celsius in Bremer is the UK's lowest in 25 years, and National Day today, very weird one today actually. Let's kickstart with talking about that, then we'll talk about my birthday wedding. Okay, so National Don't Cry Over Spilled Milk Day apparently. I'll tell you what. There is a National Day for absolutely everything. It's also Make a Friend Day. Go out there and make a friend, and it's also Peppermint Patty Day, and it's also Shut Inverterization Day. It's White Shirt Day, and of course White T-Shirt Day as well. It's Giving Hearts Day. Inventors Day is as well today. So a lot of national days for today. It really, really is. So that's the national days for today. It is my last show of the week. Don't worry, I'm back on Monday, you know. So yeah, but coming up on the show, that's what we're going to do. That's what we're talking about, and that's what we're doing. But first of all, I want to tell you how my birthday went. Oh my God, I ain't being funny. It was a great birthday. This time last year, when everyone knows last year I was in Holt on my 18th birthday last year. And of course, I couldn't believe how quick it actually really went. It went so quick. I mean, it's gone really quick. Time went really, really quick there. I didn't even know where the time went. I mean, after the show, I went off, had a great big party on my own, of course. Then I went to see my nan and granddad, had a little bit of time with them. And then after that, we went to where? Because I had my vaccine, my COVID vaccine. And we'll get to that in a moment. I'm going to talk a little bit about how my COVID vaccine went yesterday. So I'll talk a little bit about that. I'm also going to be talking, and I also, after that, went with my dad to get some fish and chips. We had fish and chips and sat in the car and had it, which I thought was a very nice thing to do. Of course, I know we can't really do very much, but that was what I actually did. So that's all we could really do. So I did that, and then after that, I went down and saw my other nan, and of course, we had a social distance chat and all that. And then my best, of course, Michael, the one who presents the show here on a Friday. Of course, my best mate / brother, Michael Walker. You know, the one who presents on Fridays, the one who presents Friday's show. Him, my best mate. Yes. I met up with him, of course, and we had my birthday bash up together outside on his green. He's got a great big green outside his house. So we had a socially distanced chat there for about an hour and a half, and then my dad picked me up, and then we called in to see my cousins in Fundridge, just outside of Ware Town, on the way back, which is really, really nice, and I really enjoyed it. So I had such a great birthday. Got back here, and I was absolutely shattered when I got back. Now, I want to talk about my COVID vaccine, because I didn't have a very good night last night. I didn't really sleep very well. I think we had because I went and had the COVID vaccine yesterday. Turned up to the drill hall in Ware. Do you know what? They've done it so good. Absolutely really good. It was fantastic the way that they did it. It's amazing. I want to thank them all there for doing that, because it was absolutely amazing. Really good. They had it all well done. We sat after for 15 minutes so they had the injection going. So I've had it, and it was very good. Yes? Yes, you can. Yep. Yes, you can. Yes. They're in the tins. Yeah, and it was very, very good. Sorry, my sister, actually. A special guest, as I like to call it, on Britain's Brightest Best Radio Show, my sister. Anyway, back to the show. Yes, so we're talking now about the vaccine. I had it, and I got back, and then I went to sleep, and I didn't really sleep very well. I think the vaccine is supposed to keep you awake. I'm not quite sure, but I had aches and pains all over me, and I woke up this morning, and I felt very achy through the night. So I didn't have very good sleep last night, so I had a lot of aches and pains, and I didn't really sleep very well. But it was very good, though. I mean, it was a very good vaccine. Very well. My second one now isn't until the 21st of April, so I know she's quite away yet, but it seems like it will still come round very quickly. It will come round very, very quick. Well, mine is, of course, on the 21st of April, which is my second one. But yeah, I mean, I had a lot of aches and pains, and I woke up this morning and I still felt very achy, but I'll be alright. I mean, I'll get over it. I'll get over the vaccine. It's only a vaccine. I mean, I will get over the vaccine, and I will be alright, actually. I mean, I will be fine. But yeah, I mean, I will be okay once I've even had the vaccine. Once I've had both of them, I will be fine. I've just had my first one, and I still feel a bit achy in my arms. I walked into the studio earlier on, and I just did a little bit of exercises with my arms when I came into the studio. But I mean, I will be fine. I am getting there. I am getting through the vaccine as quickly as I can. Of course, because my mum, she's a carer for me, so we can get the vaccine. So my second one, of course, isn't until the 21st of April. Okay, so that's the story about that. Now, let's talk. Do you know what? My birthday, it never lasts one day. It always lasts more than 3 to 4 days. It lasts for absolutely ever. It lasts for ages. Absolutely ever. Right, my birthday last year, it lasted for about a week and a half. So this year, it's lasted a couple of days as well. Okay, so let's talk about the news now then, shall we? Because I want to talk about early holidays. Because yesterday, I know I didn't see it yesterday, obviously, because it was my birthday. And I wanted to have a COVID-free birthday yesterday. And I did have a COVID-free birthday. And it was very good. But it's too early, apparently, to know whether summer holidays can still go ahead this year, apparently. But Matt Hancock said there was still a lot of uncertainty. But ministers were doing everything possible to make sure people could have a holiday this year. But what's the point in having a holiday? Because we're always on holidays anyway at the moment. But he told a news programme that he had he booked his own summer break in Cornwall months ago. Now, Labour and some Tory MPs have called for clarity after ministers. They all urged the public not to book holidays at home and abroad. But businesses have also criticised the comments as fuelling uncertainty for travel companies already struggling in this very pandemic. The follows a conclusion after it was a Transport Secretary, Grant Shapps. He warned against booking breaks at a home or abroad as well. Now, further restrictions on international travel are all due to be introduced on Monday next week. So I think we'll talk about that on Monday's show. I think we'll talk a little bit about that, and we'll cover that a little bit more. But he said it was too early to know what corona restrictions have still to be in place over the summer, but that understood people wanted to make plans right there. People are yawning for certainty over whether they can have a summer holiday, and he also said that pandemics are difficult times. Of course they are. He's very right there. It's also a lot of uncertainty as well. He said we are doing everything that they can and possible that they can make sure that people can have a holiday day this summer, but the vaccine roll is absolutely essential. Like I've had, see, I can sort of barely move my arm-ish sort of thing. I mean, I can sort of move it up and down, but I mean, I'm all right there. I mean, I'm fine now. I mean, I can move it up and down, but it'd be fine once, you know, I'm sitting here now moving it up and down. Up, down, up, down, up, down, and it's all good. But it'll be fine in a couple of weeks. I know it takes 3 weeks to settle it in, and it will be all right once I've had it all done, and I will be okay. So the Health Secretary told a radio programme now that it's all before the summer holidays a priority would be making. Apparently sure people can also see their loved ones again. I mean, I think that's a very good idea, isn't it? Yeah, it's a very good idea. Okay, so he also said it was too early to say when this might happen, but the Prime Minister would set out more details on the week beginning of the 22nd of February, which is of course after the half-term break. Meanwhile, Mr Hancock said 90% of people have accepted an offer of a corona vaccine, much higher than previously, about, I think it's 75%, am I right? Yeah, it is. It would also take a jab as well. Boris has urged 2 million people who have yet to accept their offer of a vaccine to come forward this very week. I know, I'm on the list, I've already had one, so I'm okay, but I've got to go in a second, as I just said earlier on, so I will have it, yeah. But his comments came after both Mr Johnson and Mr Sharps all urged people not to go ahead and book holidays. He said yesterday people shouldn't be booking holidays right now, not domestically or internationality, apparently. And that's what he told Downing Street briefing, that people would have to be a little bit more patient with it all as well. Now, Prime Minister's official spokesperson said that booking a summer holiday was a choice for individuals. Shadow Health Secretary Jonathan Ashworth, he criticised ministers for not being clearer about what the public could plan, apparently, for it as well. He also said that he had yet to book a holiday because he was in the same boat as everyone else. Of course, everyone's in the same boat at the moment. But he also said that he had to book a holiday day as well, and he was just wanting to know what's happening, so ministers need to tell us. He remarked from Mr Sharps the other day that he promoted anger, and from senior Conservative MP Sir Charles Walker, who accused ministers of ripping out the goalposts of timetable for lifting COVID restrictions. He said people need to have something to look forward to, apparently, this year, so I hope we will have something to look forward to this very year. Fingers crossed, people. Fingers crossed. Now, the travel industry leader criticised Mr Sharps' plea for people to stop making summer plans as parallel and nuisantial as well. Heathrow Airport's chief executive said that getting back to normality was not just about people's holidays, but also to protect people's businesses and, of course, livelihoods as well. The John Holland case of aviation businesses have gone for almost a full year, or eventually to revenue, and are warned that they may not be able to continue without slashing jobs as well. Henry Joyce of Terracree Holiday Park and Campsite down in Cornwall told a radio programme that it lived and it may be too late, it not be too soon, and it's also to book a spot there over certain dates this very summer as well. He also said, though, that a soaring demand for breaks over the past fortnight meant that he was at risk of selling during peak times and weeks, which is also he put down to people being desperate and, of course, to get away as well. Oh, hang on a minute. Under the current restrictions, though, by the way, holidays are not permitted anywhere in the UK. International travel is restricted to essential purposes, such as, of course, work, medical appointments, and, of course, education as well. Okay, let's leave that there because I want to move on now to another story. We are going to talk about the temperatures for this weekend in the programme in a minute, but I want to talk about air, toxic air, which has been putting 6 million at risk of lung damage apparently. But this is 6 million people aged over 65 in this country are at high risk of lung damage and asthma attacks because of toxic air, according to a new report. Now, it also finds that older people and those with lung disease, who are not most vulnerable apparently to the effect of pollution, are often to be the most exposed as well. A new document is from the British Lung Foundation, that's BLF, and Asthma UK. It also comes as an MP's also demanded I think it was the government which sets tougher targets for air pollution as well. Now, improving air quality needs is to be at the core of the UK's post-pandemic rebuild, so that members of House of Commons and the committee as well that focuses on environmental issues. The new report to be two of the UK's leading respiratory charities finds that a quarter of all care homes and a third of all GP practices and hospitals in England are in places where particularly pollution exceeds the limits recommended by the World Health Organization, who, according to the new report, is that focus is in the exposure of the fine particulate matter. Now, it consists of the particles known as PM2.5s, which have a dilemma of less than 2.5 micrometers across. It's also 1/400 of a millimeter and about 3% of the dilemma of the human hair. And particles are so small they can also lodge in the lungs and even pass into the bloodstream. And it's also evidence that they can damage blood vessels and other organs as well. The current legal limit of the PM25, though, is in the UK. It's also twice to WHO, a recommendation at 20 micrograms per cubic metre. And it's also a lung condition called bronchitis, of course, which you all know very well, which is extinctly by air pollution as well. We've got a video here now. Let's have a little listen to this.
Air pollution. What exactly is it, and how bad is it for me? Well, much of it comes from traffic, nitrogen dioxide, and tiny particles from exhaust fumes and tyres.
You can't actually see some of the most damaging pollution. It's called PM2.5 and involves particles that are microscopically small. So let's use virtual reality to visualise them. They're less than 2.5 microns across, which means you could fit 400 in a single millimetre. By comparison, a grain of sand is 20 times larger. Now, this matters because the particles are small enough not just to get into the lungs, but also into the bloodstream.
The largest particles get caught in the nose, but the very smallest can pass through nerves into the brain. And it's possible, but not confirmed, that they can cause what are called plaques, breaking the connection between brain cells, leading to dementia, though this isn't proven. UK scientists estimate that air pollution shortens British lives by an average of 6 months. It's linked to heart attacks and respiratory conditions like asthma. And evidence is growing that it can limit the growth of children's lungs. The more researchers investigate, the more worried they become.
Okay, let's see that story there and move on now to one more story, and that's temperatures of 23 Celsius